Oh man, that was good. I hope you guys read it. All right, yo, it's Friday the 13th.
It's so scary. We're all so scared.
That was a crazy graphic.
Oh, thanks, man. Me and my buddy Chad. Chad GPT put that together.
He's Chad Gipit.
Yeah. What's up, guys? All right, so today we're talking about the scariest packaging fails ever on Earth.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
And we're gonna get into a couple of these. We got some boxes, we got some bottles, we got some jam jars, we got all sorts of crazy stuff going on.
You're all free to laugh today, by the way. There's a lot of dark stuff in the world. In diaper packaging.
Yes.
That's what I did. I put never mind.
I get it.
Cool, man. All right, so today, Friday, we usually do pack of the week, so it's packaging fail of the week. Next week, well, this week we were out on Wednesday, but next week we'll be back Wednesday, which is can we solve it? And then Monday we'll be looking at some packaging, some viewer pack review. We've got a couple things to look at that we'll kind of go through. So stick around if you're watching this on the YouTube.
Stick labels.
Oh, that's like stickers.
In case you're wondering.
Yeah, stickers.
Bumperlabels.net. No, did I say, what was it? Bumperlabels.com? What was it?
I think it's .net. I think it's .net.
That's why they call them stickers, because they stick.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can listen to Adam talk about stickers on his Stickers Are Not Packaging podcast. All right, guys. So,
it'd be fun to have sticky business. That'd be the name of a good label podcast. Don't you guys think?
There you go. All right. So before we get started, anybody that's watching for the very first time, we got these three weirdos up here. You got Corey Connors.
That's me.
Host
Good morning.
Of Packaging Podcast, and you're on like the sales side of the industry.
Yeah.
You're on the sustainability side as well.
Yes.
And then we've got Adam Peak, host of People Packaging Podcast. And you're kind of like in the manufacturing label side. You're kind of all over the place in this.
Yeah, I've worked for people that print and make packaging for a while. 12 years. Like labels, shrink sleeves, folding cartons, printed corrugated. I've worked for a lot of different flexible packaging. Yeah, so that's been most of my time.
Yeah, hey, Brian, we got Brian joining us this morning. If you're joining us, throw it in the comments, whether you're on YouTube or on LinkedIn. If you're listening to this,
hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
On Spotify, join us.
Brian knows. Yeah. Brian freaking knows.
That's because it's Friday the 13th. It's like April Fool's. So everybody just makes stuff up.
No, do you know that there's not one commenter who's been like, Avelio's right about labels not being packaging.
Dude.
And we had one comment. I mean, obviously Lydia said Avelio's right one time.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That was not about labels.
I think it's in more than that.
Labels are definitely packaging.
If you agree with me that labels are stickers,
packaging adjacent,
go ahead and comment. Just let them all. Let them all roll on.
Give them 0.
And then you got me, Avelio Matas. I host Packaging in Box, and then I'm a packaging designer, structural designer, all that good stuff. So you got
internationally renowned, I might say.
Spy.
So you're getting 37 places.
That's right. So you're getting views from all over the place, right? You're getting from the manufacturing side, from the sales side, from the design side, building this community here. We got Hugh.
Hey, Hugh.
Coming in. Hugh makes maple syrup. I think of Hugh every time I have pancakes at home.
Oh, me too. What an awesome job.
Yeah. See, look at all these people. Chris saying labels are not awesome.
Yeah.
Brian saying labels are lame. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, see? Labels are leeches.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, we got a new Brian. Brian
Backlund. What's up, Brian Backlund? Brian and I used to work together at WS Packaging Group. Brian is the founder of Harmonized Labels in New Jersey.
Canada.
Yeah, it's just north of Old Jersey. In case you're
Is there Old Jersey?
Yeah. There's Old Mexico, Old Jersey,
New York.
Is it old or original? Yeah.
West Carolina. We've got all sorts of states that people don't know about.
York.
Yeah, just
right,
York, old York.
Let's get to
regular York
packaging fails. Horrible packaging fails.
These things are pretty ridiculous. Yeah.
It's a good time. This is, and this is a classic. Like you see this one quite often. Let's zoom into this.
Avelio, you were a packaging designer.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this one here for a second. Because I've worked for companies that do, and so is Corey, right? Like that manufacture litho-laminated corrugated boxes like this. Yeah. So we don't have to break all of these down, but like, whose fault is this? That they put the handhold that's going to pop out, right? So when it's printed, you see the baby's face, and then the handhold
But it should
pops
be
out.
it should be on the die line when the designer is designing, right? I mean, they should see the cutout.
But in defense of the designer, when you're seeing the die line, you got your perforation, you've got your score along the bottom because this isn't like punched out completely.
Right. The handholds are supposed to be flat.
Yeah, they're like hinged, right? So they swing in.
This packaging is unhinged.
Somebody in this case actually pushed those in because they thought it was funny and they took a picture.
Yeah.
But for the most part, this is on shelf and those panels are popped up, so you would be able to see the full image.
Oh, have you ever worked in a store that has to like do a shelf setting, like where you have to like put stuff on?
I've never worked at a store.
I actually always wanted to do that, but I was in the pizza business before.
So as a overnight assistant manager at a Walgreens from 2000, I know, 2002 and 2003. I will tell you, sometimes you're not paying any attention to this stuff. So you might actually just grab those by the handhold and just put them on the shelf like this. Like that. It's not like that's not going to happen.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But from the designer's perspective on the die line, it's flat, they're filling it in and they're like, we got to make the baby bigger. So they kind of fill it in and then nobody's thinking like, hey, this section
every
gets
time I
pushed
look at
in.
these pictures, I just can't help but laugh.
You're gonna be putting your hand in this baby's mouth, like
so gross. Adam, were you assistant manager or assistant to the regional manager?
Oh, they had to call me Mr. Peak. I wore a gray vest. I was the overnight assistant manager.
Wow.
And it was an awesome job. 7 12-hour shifts in a row and then 7 days off. I had every other week off.
Jeez.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Brian's
7:30 and 19.
Be an accident, but
yes, it can totally be an accident.
I think so. I think it's possible the die line came without the handhole because you don't need that. It's not a cutting die. It's ancillary tool on the flexo folder gluer. So that it could be. It's possible it wasn't on the die line. Is all I'm saying. So,
this wasn't a misprint though. This is this was made correctly. Somebody signed off on the proof.
Yeah.
You couldn't return this one, even though it'd be embarrassing.
Yeah. Corey, back to what you just said. So it may not have been on the die line because it's done after. Like the box would have been cut, and then they would punch this out separately.
Yes, the die line handholds can be added on the flexo folder gluer machine after. So it's not like a platen die cut for this particular RSC box.
I didn't know that. I always thought
know it either.
You're just punching it at once.
No, it gets slotted and scored and on the flexo folder gluer machine and glued and folded. That's why they call it that. But this, you can add the handholds after the fact.
Oh, all right. Hey.
So shout out to the team there. It's possible this wasn't their fault at all, but they didn't understand the full process of how a box is made and didn't realize that there would be handholds added.
Check that out.
Interesting.
The more you know. I just learned something new today.
In your eye, baby.
That's right. In your mouth, baby.
Yeah. But who should have said something was the people that ran that machine. At the end there, Which is why you need to be really involved with your packaging company. This one's hilarious.
Yeah, this one's good. How does this happen, Corey?
I could see a point of purchase display with like a fan on this, so it looked like
gosh,
like action.
Yeah. This is easy to have happen, right? Because you lay it all out on the box. You're not thinking about, oh, there's going to be Kleenex coming out of this, and
it's just a line. There's just a line there, right?
Yeah. It's.
I don't know.
It's pretty hilarious. I hope this one was done on purpose because I think it's awesome.
Yeah, they had like the option of a couple other images, and they're like, this one's pretty good.
Because they could totally lean into it, right? Like reorient it so like the Kleenex is coming out of his.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Like they could do some really cool stuff with this thing.
But the part of the design, yeah. I love it.
Yeah. So stuff like this does happen, right? A lot of these companies, maybe not Kleenex, maybe not Pampers or whatever that was. You got a lot of junior designers.
Yeah.
Right. You got a really big team of junior designers. You got a ton of SKUs. This isn't just one Kleenex box. I mean, they're doing a ton of them. And I think the more that brands are using AI to do some of this, like product extension stuff for them, you're going to run into this a little bit more, I think, because you're not really paying attention to all those details. AI is not, assembling it and thinking, here's what's going to happen.
Right.
But
pretty good stuff, Spider-Man.
Adam, you should send this to your friends at Dude Wipes. I think they would like this.
Oh man, that would be a perfect. Would be amazing.
I like this one. This is pretty classic.
This is so frustrating, though.
Yeah.
It's like, that tool that you need to open up plastic. Let's put it in the plastic.
And make it really hard to open. Yeah.
Like this to me is a failure on now, probably this is manufactured overseas, right? It's probably being, printed and packed out
made
overseas.
in America, right there.
Where?
I'm just kidding.
I was like, no, it does not.
This would be a great white elephant gift, I think.
It would be. Maybe they did it on purpose. What they should do is where the mouth is like trying to bite the packaging, they should put that up where the sombrero cut is.
Yeah.
Just to merge.
It's trying to get into packaging. That. Yeah, it's trying to get into that box.
I don't know how real this is, though. I mean, this looks like a staged shot.
Mm-hmm.
It might be, and you see that you've got the Christmas stuff in the background, so maybe it was a white elephant gift.
No, I don't know. This might not even be real.
You don't think? Maybe it is.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
What's Brian say? Brian says it's part of the packaging experience, right? Yeah. This is how are you gonna be in the packaging industry if you've never sliced yourself on one of these clamshells?
Right.
Or just
like hazing.
Being a human and never sliced yourself on one of those things.
Marketing fail. Heinz introduced a mystery color ketchup in an opaque bottle. I remember the clear ketchup. That one people went nuts for.
That was viral.
Yeah,
what about Crystal Pepsi? Crystal Pepsi was viral before viral was a thing.
Mm-hmm. This one I really like. And honestly,
might be a translation issue there. Yeah.
No, it's actually a Photoshop issue. It actually said tastes like grandma's '*S.
Okay.
And then someone took that out. On our image, because I used this on our image for the thumbnail.
Yeah.
I went ahead and I circled his mouth, and I asked generative AI on Photoshop to make it all bloody, but it wouldn't make it bloody. It just made his tongue sticking out like he's licking the bread. So that's what you'll see on the thumbnail. But yeah, this is unfortunate. I don't know if somebody did this from the brand, like, hey, let's make this viral and just remove the '*S, because it's been shared quite a bit.
Yeah, but imagine if the apostrophe didn't print all that well and just said tastes like grandma's, but it wasn't like possessive, just
like
plural,
several grandmas.
Several grandmas all at once.
Yeah, I like that it's a kid and he's got like a piece of grandma, like her thigh. He's eating it. Look at his
You know what's really funny is why we're talking about this in a packaging fail. It's weird that that's a printed label. I don't know. So how does something like this actually happen?
It was like, oh, enough with the labels.
I mean, honestly, though,
I humor him all the time.
Well,
I let him
put it up.
I mean,
you're driving. I'm not driving here. You were like,
but they're really not.
Let's talk about packaging fails.
Okay,
let's talk about how this.
Let's back this. I was breaking the fourth wall there.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's the deal, guys. Yeah.
What do we got?
Okay, so how does this happen? How do
wait a second.
How do spoons end up in fork packaging?
Well, the cards are printed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Separately from the process. And I think this is actually a very easy mistake to make, because the card is the same die cut as the one that would be used for forks. The thermoform just changes and the cards stay the same.
Yeah. Now, these are probably filled by hand.
Yeah.
As well. So you've got somebody stacking the product, putting the card in.
Could be face down. Maybe it doesn't say anything on the back.
Yeah. And they're probably a per piece employee, right? Where that's like the more of these you pack, the more you get. They're not looking. No. They're just trying to hit their numbers.
Okay, but think about all of the QA failures though that happened prior to this getting to a retail shelf. I'm not talking about the person who's packing it out.
Yep.
I mean the printer, right? Yep. Didn't do their sorting correctly, because obviously this got mixed in with the wrong lot, right? Like this was supposed to be in the spoons and they have forks. So that's a QA problem. That's like that's a critical defect. All of that should have been rejected, right?
Is it really critical though?
Yes. That would be considered a critical defect by most printers, to put the wrong print and mix it in.
But on shelf, when you were working at Walmart, like,
right?
Excuse me, Walgreens.
When you were working at
senior night shift manager, Adam, Mr. Peak. When you're
Mr. Peak, Mr. Peak was working at Walgreens.
People, if you're buying your spoons at Walgreens or your forks,
like you should,
you're
not going to not buy this. So it's not critical.
No,
nobody's dying.
I'm not saying
it's not like Tylenol and you're poisoning yourself. It's a spoon.
In general, though, it's a critical defect to mix other products in with the print of the same lot. So like this was a while back. We spliced together label rolls of gluten-free and non-gluten-free. The labels look the same, but the rewinder spliced together the wrong things, and that ended up, so you had labels on products that were supposed to be labeled as gluten-free or as non-gluten-free. You had the wrong labels on there, but it was the products on the inside. It got to the retail market, and there were massive product recalls because it's a big problem. It's a critical defect.
You could have killed somebody.
Well, yeah, you could kill somebody here. What if somebody was trying to like buy a fork to protect themselves, and now they with a spoon, and it's like,
okay, it's a
but my point is that in general, right? Like it's a problem to mix up print like this.
Thank you, Chris. Chris is saying Avelio is right, as always.
Always. But the other thing is,
I would buy this because it's wrong.
Yeah,
I tried to buy it because it was wrong. But what about the inspection at the manufacturer? Like,
oh yeah, no, there's a lot of errors here.
I'm just saying there's a lot of errors that have to take place in order for this problem to happen.
8-piece fork set, I'm sure, is like $1. The level
I don't know. Fine stainless steel in a thermoform plastic clamshell carries a pretty high price point.
I've heard that.
Yes. I doubt this is stainless steel.
It's probably at a Five Below. You're right.
All right. Let's see. Everyone knows that they're spoons. What are you talking about, Brian? I missed it here.
What's the Oreo debate?
What's the Oreo? What's the Oreo debate?
He might be talking about the Aldi's Oreo.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Yeah, that's right.
You talked about that. This is one of my favorites.
I love this.
Another die cut issue.
Is he holding like a hot dog?
Yeah, flipping hot dog around. This is funny. This is a good one.
Oh man.
Yeah, it almost feels inappropriate to be talking about the training ball packaging like this, but it definitely helps you develop skills because girls like guys with skills, right?
That's right.
Skills, computer hacking skills.
Yeah. Can you bake a cake or something? Yeah. They like to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is good. I think it stopped people. So from a packaging design perspective, this might not be a fail. This might be a win. If this is on shelf, you're looking.
Do you think this was intentional?
No,
I don't think so either.
No.
If it is, then kudos to the designer because that's great.
Yeah. I think, the quality of this design, I'm sure the guy that was putting this together was like, oh my God, I'm still on Fiverr. I got to get off this website.
Right.
No more training ball packaging. This one is good. It takes a second.
Yeah.
So what is this, Adam?
So what we have here is a label. And
packaging.
I think so the way that I read this, right, is O is like the exclamation mark means like that's a complete sentence, right? It's like, oh, boy syrup. Mm-hmm. It's almost like the grandma's jelly, right? It's like it reads as though this is boy syrup. Instead, I think the brand is Oh Boy, right? It's meant to be the brand, and then it's supposed to be syrup. We need Hugh's take on this.
They got to move. They got to move that exclamation point. Also, the trapping is really bad off here, isn't it? Like
it could be that could be intentional on his face. I don't know. I can't tell.
Oh, you mean like that white edge?
Yeah.
You have to highlight, I think.
The rest of the print looks fine, so I think that was intentional in the design, or else you'd see all the colors moved.
Yeah, I think it's like that 50s Bazooka Joe style.
What do you think caused the scratching on the left there? Like, is that taking it out of the box and there was a staple?
I think it was Adam trying to smell it.
Because these are paper labels. You think there was like staples in the corrugated? That's something you got to consider with tertiary packaging too, is not using staples or abrasive things like that with paper labels.
Yep. Yeah, it could be that it could have just gotten caught on either corrugated or on the shelf or something like that. Somebody was trying to scratch it off to see if
when you were senior vice assistant director, you would not have let that happen, right?
Yeah.
At Walgreens, Mr. Peak.
No, I definitely would have put that one on the shelf. But I think that the other one, though, it would have been solved, I think, by just moving the logo of the company, Oh Boy, or changing the font Brian mentions on syrup, or adding some kind of.
They need to move the
exclamation. They got to be separated, right?
Yeah. Keep them separated. What about this one here? You got 100% beef made with all.
Oh wait, Hugh's jumping in. The syrup king of North Carolina is jumping in here.
Meat chicken.
Looks fake.
Looks like fake syrup.
Oh boy.
How can you tell from the bottle? Because it's dark?
I think because Hugh is a syrupist.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm asking.
It's 40 ounces. That's a lot of syrup.
Yeah, that's
syrup sommelier.
Just drink a 40 of boy syrup.
Off to the next call. All right, Hugh. We'll see you, buddy.
Old English.
This was also at Adam Peak's Walgreens. 100% beef made with all white meat chicken.
It's my favorite kind of meat chicken.
It's my favorite kind of beef chicken. Yeah, crazy. There's, just kind of running through some of these. There's a lot to be said for some of these.
Not appropriate for
I
the
think
kids.
Now, was that a packaging fail or is that a merchandising fail? Because it seems like the packaging
did its job.
I guess it protected and drew your attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. This, of course, is the
Epic. Yeah.
The epic
packaging fail. Yeah. Pretty much any time they've changed, Tropicana has been a disaster. If you want,
Every time it's like they try to, they continue to.
You gotta throw those people out of the meeting, guys. They have an idea. All right, it's a rebrand. Get out of here, Charlie.
What's with the packaging?
Terrible. I don't know. So as we wrap up the show here on Friday the 13th, and we talk about packaging fails. I mean, we've kind of shared a bunch of these. We've got a couple seconds here left. Do you have any, Corey? Have you had any fails?
Oh, sure. Yeah. This is a funny kind of story. A customer of mine was running catalogs, and after a month of reviews and revisions and insights by dozens of team members, including the printers team, this wasn't my company that was printing it. They found out after they printed it that they spelled catalog wrong on the cover.
Nice.
So
what do
this
you
is
do after that.
They actually tore the covers off and reprinted the covers and re-glued them on. But I think this is it's a lesson to be learned, is look at every word, not just the detail words.
Isn't that what AI is supposed to do? Yeah. Like, can't AI like make sure it's like, hey, just make sure that all the words are spelled correctly? That seems like a pretty useful tool for proofing.
Yeah, but I think, a lot of times designers are creating, whether they're incorporating text into photos, like in Photoshop. Photoshop doesn't have spell check. So that's where you can have some errors. If you're just copy pasting and you're not checking, that's a place to have errors. Typos are huge. And a lot of times when you're working with agencies or you're working in-house, and it's, you've got your marketing team and then you've got your design team, there's not like a copywriter anymore that's proofing and checking. It's, it's either outsourced, written internally, and you're kind of at the mercy of these people. Obviously, if you're a huge Tropicana, you're in one of these big giant companies, you're going to have these different teams to look at it, legal reviewing every single thing. So if something gets through there, that's huge. But these smaller companies, it's pretty frequent that something like that happens. Adam, have you had something happen?